Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Denice Scary Show today. It is, as always, a privilege and honor to have Mr. Philip HANEY. This is a former intelligence official that was a leading expert on all things regarding Islamic terrorism at the Department of Homeland Security. He's written a book that you'll see here beside me, talking about see something, say nothing. You might ask Fox News to get him on their programming. This is a man who's a true whistleblower. And I'd like to see Laura Ingraham. I'd like to see Tucker Carlson. I'd like to see Sean Hannity. I would like you to put forward the message that it's time they get a real whistleblower on their programs that can talk about what really happens and what happens behind the scenes when Democrats seek to ruin a person's life for telling the truth. And today, Philip HANEY is going to be, we want to talk first about the impeachment. Philip, welcome to the Denice Scary Show.
Thank you very much, and I'm glad to talk to you today about impeachment. You had your lead in as being a whistleblower, and I'll let you ask me the first question. Okay. But I've had encounters with the committees that are right now seeking to impeach the president, Intel, Judiciary, and House Homeland Security. Mm-hmm. Direct contact with them in the years when I was still active duty. So yeah, I have some insight.
You absolutely do, and you know how corrupt the Democrats are and how they don't play fair. And certainly freedom of speech is not something they seem to value. I'm looking, Philip HANEY, at a report called the 14th Global Fraud Survey. It was published in 2016 by Ernst & Young. And Ernst & Young cites that Ukraine is among the 3 most corrupt nations of the world. It says corruption is so pervasive in Ukraine that over 68% of the Ukrainian citizens report that they have to actually bribe a government or public official. And I appreciate so much you sent me this breaking news concerning a Ukrainian indictment coming down with respect to Hunter Biden and the Obama administration. Thank you so much for sharing this so we can get this information out to the audience today. Ladies and gentlemen, apparently the Office of the Prosecutor General in the nation state of Ukraine has just come out with a report indicating that Hunter Biden and his partners received $16.5 million for so-called services. And according to the Prosecutor General's office, he writes, quote, "The son of Vice President Joe Biden was receiving payment for his services with money raised through criminal means and money laundering." He goes on to add, Biden received money that did not come from the company's successful operation, but from money stolen from Ukrainian civilians. Tell us about this. What can you share with us, Philip HANEY?
Well, I'll tell you. I sent this article to the White House today, and I got an immediate response back. And, you know, there's a lot of email traffic between people back in D.C., and you don't always get an immediate response. But in this case, I did, because these are enormous numbers.
Yes.
They're saying $7.4 billion of Obama-linked money laundering, plus the Biden group.
Yes. Yes. Let me just
$16.5 million. These numbers are astonishing.
Yeah, astronomical.
And so I put the qualifier that if we can confirm it, then this ought to be, well, not ought to be, it is a game changer. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure many listening have been trying, at least, to watch the impeachment inquiry that's been on TV all day today and yesterday, and they continue, meaning they, the Democrats, to repeat the same thing over and over and over, that it's a conspiracy theory, it's a disproven claim that Hunter Biden, or for that matter, his father, had anything to do whatsoever with corruption in the Ukraine.
But how can that be? How can that be when this was published? This is from the office, Ukraine's office of the Prosecutor General. How can they say that's how can the Democrats say that's a conspiracy?
Well, because it just broke today.
Okay.
So this is breaking news. It just came out.
Okay.
And that's exactly the reason why I sent it directly, immediately, to my secret squirrel friends in Washington, D.C., plus my contacts inside the White House.
Okay.
And that's why I got a response pronto, because, you know, a lot of things happen in life, but particularly in D.C., behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And based on what my background and experience and familiarity with, you know, the sense of things, the fact that they responded so promptly tells me that this was something they considered to be important. So that would be a little homework assignment. Let's wait and see how long it is before this story breaks into the mainstream media. A, if it does at all, and B, what they do with it. And now I have to say the Republicans in the impeachment inquiry have been doing a real good job of countering the narrative of the Democratic majority. So I'm hoping that through these channels, that this story will gain some traction and come out. But ultimately, of course, you know that this thing is going to have to go to a trial in the Senate. And one way or another, I'll make my best to make sure that those people as well that are in the Senate also have access to this article, because it really does appear to me to be true. Well, and if that's the case, then it is a game changer.
It says here that according to Interfax Ukraine, that one of the ministers of the parliament at a press conference on the 14th indicated that they have received new materials alleging that the family of the ex-president of Ukraine, who was known for corruption, funneled $7.4 billion, the figure that you just cited in your comments, funneled that $7.4 billion through an American investment firm, Franklin Templeton Investments, which all apparently seem to be connected to the United States Democratic Party. This is explosive today, and everybody needs to find out about it. And I just hope that you'll be able to move forward and get those calls. You need to talk about this on Fox News, and I hope the White House will cooperate and work with you to get out this news and information. Any final words on that? Because there's another issue I want to talk about today. Any other final thoughts?
Sure, there's plenty of names and plenty of money involved in this story. It's worth following up for sure. And President Obama's former national security advisor is on the board of one of these companies. So it just goes on and on. You can't even hardly capture it all with little show, a few minutes that we have.
So Obama's former national security advisor, did I get that?
Yeah, he's connected with the Templeton, the financial institution that money was laundered through.
Okay.
The $7.4 billion. It's also connected to the Democratic Party. Mm-hmm. The leg bone's connected to the knee bone, and so on and so on, right?
Yeah, right. Got it. Okay, yeah, the son of Templeton's founder, John Templeton Jr., was one of President... Wow. Here's another little connection. Talk about the knee bone connected to the whatever bone. This is the son of Templeton's founder, John Templeton Jr., was one of President Obama's major campaign donors. Wow, and how it just, weaves its way through the Obama administration, right? Just talking about the national security advisor.
All roads lead to the swamp.
Yeah, to President Obama and the Democratic Party. All right, moving on. Let's talk about, I sent you an article regarding something that was fascinating to me, and I'm looking for it now in my stack. Muslim Brotherhood and the IRGC. Let's talk about that for a moment.
Sure.
There apparently has been some intelligence documents somehow leaked from the Iranian government. So ladies and gentlemen, there's another sort of breaking news story that Iranian intelligence documents have been leaked, and what it reveals is that the Muslim Brotherhood and the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, the IRGC, have sought to work together. They are working in 85 countries, and their primary target, first and foremost, Saudi Arabia, Israel, and the United States. Philip HANEY, what can you tell us about this? You're an expert on things regarding Islamic terrorism. What do you know? What can you share?
Well, this goes back to 2014. Mm-hmm. That's right in the middle of President Obama's term of office, of course, and it's when I was still active duty. In fact, it's during the time some of the investigations that I had to endure were going on in full fury, because the reason why I was in so much trouble all the time is I specialize in the Muslim Brotherhood, the network of organizations and individuals who were operating here in the United States, going clear back to the Holy Land Foundation trial back in 2008, which, by the way, is still going on now to this very day.
I didn't know that. The Holy Land Foundation trial is still in process?
No, not the trial. The organizations that were spotlighted in the trial that were originally meant to be shut down, or at least gone through the legal process.
Unindicted co-conspirator. Yes.
Yeah, those ones. And the ones that in particular that were going to be in phase 2, I'll call it phase 2, of the follow-up trial, was our good buddies CARE, Council on American Islamic Relations, Islamic Society of North America, and the third one called NAIT, North American Islamic Trust. And there's kind of like a real estate holding company that owns the property to about 2/3 of all the mosques in the United States. Those 3 Muslim Brotherhood front groups were going to be next on the list to go into the formal court proceedings to see whether there was valid reason to shut them down. But that never happened, because as soon as President Obama came in, he shut the trial down under Eric Holder, and it never went forward. And not only did it not go forward, that would be passive, right? Just don't do anything.
Right.
Oh no, way more than just mere passive inaction. They began to bring those individuals into positions of influence and authority within the administration to help formulate policy, both in the domestic arena, but
in the
also within foreign policy.
Yes, absolutely.
So no wonder a person like me would be in trouble so much.
Right. Yes, you were in trouble. You're the whistleblower who tried to expose it all. Let me ask you a question, sir. When is the president going to designate the Muslim Brotherhood as a terrorist group? That needs to happen. Are you petitioning him to do so? I am.
Well, I would say that now would be a really good time to go ahead and have people call their rep, their Senate, or their House rep.
Right.
And don't do it because you think you're going to get an answer, and don't be discouraged if you don't.
Right.
The point is that you do what you can, and let's just say let the Lord take care of the rest of it. Yeah. Because if you do something with an expectation of a response and you don't get it, then you're going to be disappointed. Right. You're going to think that it's not worth the trouble.
But it is. They count those calls. They count those calls. Ladies and gentlemen, call the president. I wish I had it handy. But, you can look right in the first few pages of your phone, but call the president's comment line. It's area code 202. I don't recall. I always tweet the president's my thoughts, which I'll be tweeting him again this evening. But tweet the president. Call your representative. You all know, you can all find your local numbers easy enough. Give your representative in the House and your senator a telephone call and tell them, let's encourage the president to make the designation of the Muslim Brotherhood, get it done, make them a terrorist organization. It needs to happen.
You know, Devin Nunes is doing a great job in the impeachment inquiry, right?
Mm-hmm.
His district, there's probably people listening to your show that are in his district.
Absolutely.
Well, what most of the people that maybe not know is that Adam Schiff is completely compromised by the Muslim Brotherhood. He, and also Gerald Nadler, who is chairman of the Judiciary Committee. Adam Schiff is chairman of the Intel Committee. Jerry Nadler is chairman of the Judiciary Committee. Both of them are completely compromised by the Muslim Brotherhood, in particular, CARE. Adam has actually written letters in favor of CARE, and Jerry Nadler has not only written letters, but solicited testimony from CARE, which is part of the official record, the what do they call, congressional record,
right,
during hearings that he's held. They're both compromised. So the people that are trying to impeach the president right now, playing a leading role, are compromised by the Muslim Brotherhood.
Well, that doesn't surprise me.
The last time this came up to the surface was back on April 30th, 2019, when President Trump met with al-Sisi, the president of Egypt. And it says the headline is considering a move to designate the Muslim Brotherhood as a terrorist group. Now, al-Sisi asked him to do it.
Yes, he did. I recall.
Now
that.
let's fast forward to what we started with. The Muslim Brotherhood and the IRGC, the Iranian Revolutionary Guard, are working together. And their strategy, in their own words, is this: to discuss how they might work together and to fight against Saudi Arabia. And guess what the other two countries are targeting?
Israel and the United States.
See, that's why I like you. You're so smart. Yep, Israel and the United States.
Right.
So, if that's what they say they intend to do, why don't we take them at face value?
Well,
and consider them at their word.
Right,
that
absolutely.
That's the Muslim Brotherhood.
Right.
Just like what we looked at with this Burisma indictment from Ukraine that just came out as a smoking gun, as a game changer, this should be too. What more else do you need than statements in their own words that their intention is to fight against Israel and the United States? That ought to be enough, don't you think?
Yes, sir.
Wouldn't you think?
Yes, sir. I do. I absolutely do. Philip Haney, thank you. Thank you so
You're
much
welcome.
for your time today. I really appreciate it. You have a blessed and wonderful evening, and we welcome you back on the show next week, same time, same day. Thank you.
Thank you very much for staying involved.
Thank you, sir. All right. Blessings. Good night.
Bye-bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about, excuse me. I knew that was going to start, and I needed to wrap up that interview. Let's go to commercial break. Let's go to Frugati's. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Be right back.
I want to tell you about a place I love to go, Frugati's Italian Restaurant. Very few locations here provide seating outside in front of a fabulous water fountain with an atmosphere that is reminiscent to me of eating outdoors in Venice. This is real Italian food by real Italians. And what makes it even more so is owner Ralph Frugoletti, who nearly a quarter century ago brought a wood fire oven from Milan, Italy to make, like his mother, fresh homemade bread and pizzas. Moreover, Frugati's Restaurant offers you not only the very best in Southern Italian cooking, even importing the finest ingredients for authentic Italian food, including a fitness menu. After all, Ralph has represented the United States and Italy, competing in the Master Championship Games. He knows all the right food for good fitness, so check out the menu. After today's broadcast, run over to Frugati's Italian Restaurant.
President Trump has claimed security as national security, and in the Tehachapi Mountains of Kern County resides a United States defense contractor, HANEY Products. Here is the Silicon Valley of the aerospace industry, right here in East Kern. HANEY Products is a forward-leaning manufacturer and distributor of hardware sold to major defense and aerospace companies. We're talking about Boeing, Lockheed Martin, United Technologies, Northrop Grumman, Raytheon General Electric, and on the list goes, as well as to every United States ally worldwide, including Israel, America's most important strategic ally in the Middle East. And for everything that flies, HANEY Products is providing the parts. And with me today is the president of HANEY Products, Scott Baker. Hi, Scott.
How you doing?
Scott, tell us why you believe this corner of Kern County is the hub of the aerospace industry.
Well, this portion of Southern California here out in the Antelope Valley, it contains, some of the most cutting-edge technology going on in aviation today. We have some of the UCAS programs with unmanned technologies going on. We have Edwards Air Force Base out here who's doing continual testing in their area. We have the Naval Weapons Station up there at China Lake doing some fantastic cutting-edge stuff, cruise missile technology, and those things are going on. We have Scale Composites locally doing a lot of composite technology, which is new. We have SpaceX, which is a private one, putting a private entity putting things into space now. This area is the growth center for aviation's future, and this is the area I think that as a nation we need to be concentrating some of our effort and taking this technology. And as we all know, with the space program from Apollo years ago, out of these technologies, we the private sector are going to reap some of the benefits of that.
Thank you, Scott. Ladies and gentlemen, Scott Baker, president of HANEY Products. HANEY Products, located in the beautiful mountains of Tehachapi, California, in eastern Kern County, is home to some of the most innovative and specialized technologies in the world, including those at the U.S. Naval Air Warfare Center, Weapons Division at China Lake, Edwards Air Force Base, as well as Stratolaunch, launching satellites capable of delivering multiple orbits in a single flight to space. And it is HANEY Products that has provided the manufactured devices, and the president, Scott Baker of HANEY Products, Marine Corps veteran, reactivated on 9/11 to monitor threats to the homeland, is carrying on a tradition of providing for the security of the United States by manufacturing every kind of fastener on anything that flies, as well as providing a full testing destructive laboratory. Contact HANEY Products, now in business for 30 years, at 661-822-6873. Located at 1314 Goodrich Drive in Tehachapi for your manufacturing and testing needs today. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Denise Gary Show. Please make your contribution, your tax-deductible contribution to the Middle East Initiative, my 501c3 educational foundation. Put on your envelope the Middle East Initiative or the Denise Gary Show, but make a check out to the Middle East Initiative. That's my 501c3. Please send it to Post Office Box 82162, 82162, Bakersfield, California, 93380. Thank you so much. Pray for people that are trying to take a stand everywhere here in the United States and around the globe for fairness, for justice, for peace, and security. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. See you tomorrow. Good night.